What is happening, ladies and gents? This is Joe of All Vapes coming at you with another awesome review where we're going to be talking about some of the best products out on the vaping market and some, hopefully, that you've never heard of. So, Fixx e-liquid is a solid straight up company. If you've never heard of these guys, then you've been living under a vaping rock. You know what I'm saying? Broaden your horizons and explore some different flavors out there, guys. But they have a signature 5 flavors. And yes, I can count. They have a brand new flavor out that is relatively newer than the old 4 that they came out with, and I'm definitely going to explore those with you today. Really, really top quality stuff. Now, first of all of the labels look pretty darn similar to this. Now, these are some fatty 30 milliliter bottles, 75-25 VG to PG ratio, which is telling me that the flavor is going to be really, really solid. First of all, we have the Loop de Loop, okay? This one is just like a spoonful of your favorite fruit cereal with ice cold milk, okay? Use your imagination. You can pretty much come up with that one is. Peach Cruiser is the next one. And the flavor profile description says a sweet and ripe peach puree blended with a smooth vanilla yogurt. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty of that one as well. Milky Shake is the third flavor going on here, and that is a whirlwind of strawberry ice cream. Especially on a hot summer day, awesome stuff. And milk blended fresh for you to enjoy. Awesome possum stuff. Lemon Cheese Crank is the second to last flavor here, and that is perfectly creamy cheesecake with a sweet lemon drizzle and a delectable graham cracker crust. Awesome stuff, let me tell you. We'll get into that. And then, of course, the Spinnabun. Now, this one isn't on the flavor profile card, but we'll get into the profile of this one a little bit later. You can pretty much use your imagination and come up with a flavor profile of that one. So first of all, let's go to the Loop de Loop. Now, this one was pretty darn tasty. Now, it is fairly reminiscent of a lot of the Fruit Loopy type of cereal vapes out on the market, but it has a little bit of a twist. It's a little bit more creamy and vanilla flavored in the milk essence than your typical fruity cereal breakfast vape. A lot of them, to me, kind of taste like they just mashed it all in a bowl and called it good. Like, you know, a brand new company had to come out and they just had to come out with something that was so familiar, basically just to have it, to appease, you know, everybody else's palate that they're already used to. My question is, why do that? Why not have some way of separating yourself from the pack? Some way to separate yourself from the crowd of all the other typical flavors out there. People like us get so sick of that repetitive garbage. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is definitely not garbage. It has a candy-esque flavor to it. The profile is fairly true to what they're trying to convey, but I appreciated the fact that the sweet, creamy vanilla flavor of the milk really rose above and kind of separated that mashed up flavor of all the other different typical breakfast cereal vapes. Very true to profile as far as what it definitely is trying to convey. It really tasted like a nice sweet bowl of Fruit Loops, but low on that citrus burn that a lot of those fresh flavored, citrus fruity cereal vapes can give. Sometimes I vape into those and the citrus flavor is so profound, sort of burns my taste buds, right? And then I just pouring it out into the garbage and flipping it out, washing out my coil, which I know I should never do. Do as I say, don't do as I do, guys. But you kind of get the message that I'm trying to come across with, right? It's a very, very good flavor. The Loop de Loop is traditional in just that fun cereal vape, but, just that sweet, creamy vanilla flavor rises it up and just separates everything into just a nice bowl of happiness in the morning. So I would try vaping this with an actual bowl of Fruit Loops, giving it a shot, drink some coffee, and pair it. You know what? You can be a connoisseur of vape juice as well. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on to the Peach Cruiser. And this one was the sweet and ripe peach puree blended with a smooth vanilla yogurt. Now, I love vapes that are a combination of fresh fruit flavors with a good yogurt taste, because the yogurt is a really good binding ingredient. It's kind of a base ingredient, if you will. So it kept everything nice and happy, and it wasn't your typical sort of peaches and cream flavor, which I liked. A good kind of like a Greek yogurt flavor will have a creamy consistency, but sort of be decadent and a little bit bitter at the same time. But you add in a really good quality fruit flavor. This was a solid peach taste, not candy-esque at all. I was really impressed by the flavor of the peach. It came through very ripe, very fresh, and still just a little bit sweet and kind of candy-esque to the taste that made it a really fun and enjoyable and pleasurable vape. So light, airy, and refreshing while still being kind of creamy and a little bit earthy with that type of just kind of a really solid, deep, rich, thick, creamy yogurt flavor and consistency to it. The peach brought it all up though, man. Let me tell you, this was a really good springtime vape, and I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy that one. The next one is the Milky Shake, and that's pretty much just straight up strawberry ice cream milkshake. This one was out of sight. Not too deep on the creamy, rich, decadent flavor. It was very light and airy, so it was extremely reminiscent of an actual very light, very fresh, creamy strawberry milkshake. The strawberries were very, very fresh tasting, light on the strawberry flavor, so a lot of that creamy vanilla flavor from the ice cream taste really came through. A nice little milky blend, kind of similar to what goes into the loop-de-loop, kept everything a little bit light and airy, brought it up from the back end, right in the middle, keeping everything fresh and happy. So the strawberries on this one was probably my favorite aspect of this flavor. If you like strawberries, you're definitely going to love this one because it gives you something a little bit contemporary from typical just straight up strawberry flavors. Perfect summertime vape, you guys. The next flavor is the lemon cheese crank. This one was straight up totally tubular. A typical really sweet and creamy, rich, thick, dense, superb cream cheese, just cheesecakey flavor was really, really solid. But the good thing about this is that it wasn't traditional lemon in the juicy flavor as much as it was the zesty flavor. Now, lemon zest can go a long way. A little bit can go a very long way. I baked with lemon zest, and I still do. It's great, great stuff, especially when you want to emphasize a really good citrus flavor coming across with the lemon, but just, you know, just a little bit of a bite to it. You know what I'm saying? This stuff was just perfectly blended to make sure that that creamy texture, that dense, rich, thick creaminess of the good, rich cheesecake came through with just a very light, zesty essence of lemon to it. So not overpowering, not overbearing, definitely a solid, rock solid dessert vape. Good stuff for the end of a long day, you know what I mean? And the last but not least flavor is the Spinnabun. This one was really, really tasty. Now, like I was saying, as opposed to all these other ones that were 3 milligrams, this one was just a straight up 0 milligram. Some of the time I'll take some of my 0 milligram vapes and I'll mix them up with some of the 3s just to basically kill the milligram level a little bit. But I wanted to treat myself with something that I'm not typically used to vaping, which is I don't usually vape a ton of 0 milligram nic. But this one I'm really, really glad I did because it gave me a straight up palatable, just conveyance of a really good quality Cinnabun flavor. The one thing that I loved about this is that the cinnamon flavor did not taste like dirty dishwater. Let me tell you, a lot of those cinnamon vapes can try their best to convey a really solid cinnamon flavor that's fun and inviting, but some of them just got a really, really funky effect on my palate. I don't know what it is. Plus, you have to use some quality control on the levels, the aspect of how much of that cinnamon flavor you want to come across, and make sure that it doesn't totally overpower every other flavor that you got going on in the juice. This one was very complimentary. I was tasting sugar. I was tasting cinnamon. I was tasting butter. I was tasting a little bit of vanilla coming from the cakey consistency. It was very, very tasty. In itself, it was an extremely good Cinnabun flavor. I really, really think highly of this particular flavor itself. And the one good thing I can say about a Cinnabon is that you can have it for dessert, you can have it for an in-between snack, you can have it for breakfast. This one would be really good paired with like a nice cold glass of milk, you know what I mean? What better to go with a nice sticky cinnamon roll than a nice tall glass of cold milk? So, Fixx e-liquid, bringing it all into a tidy little package. Let's kind of toss that one right in the mix in there, right there. Really, really high quality stuff. If you've never heard of this company, they're all over social media. So you can go and check them out on Facebook. You can check them out on Instagram and contact at Fixx e-liquid. I'm going to put all these guys' information in the description below. Definitely go on to Facebook, go on to Instagram at Fixx e-liquid. Check these guys out. Give them a follow. Tell them that Joe of All Vapes sent you. Give them some love. And I want to say to Fixx e-liquid, thank you very much for having the patience to stick it through and supporting Joe of All Vapes. I really appreciate you guys letting me have some of your craft premium e-juice so that I can dissect it and just thrust it at some of my favorite vape family here to check out. And please, all of you guys, give these guys a try. Follow the link below in the description and pick up some of this stuff for yourself, because that's the best and only way you're going to be able to make the best choice for your next all-day vape. If you dug this review, please spread the word here. Joel of All Vapes on YouTube. Check me out at joelofallvapes_2. I've got some solid giveaways going on. Still got my 10,000 follower giveaway I'm trying to compile. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the more time I take, the more stuff I find to throw in it. Definitely look out for that. I've got some solid discounts coming up on some of the best e-juice out on the market. You know me, guys. You know how I do it. I only deal with the best there is. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate and love you guys. Stay humble. Love yourselves, love each other, and above all, if nothing else, you keep it cloudy.